right, welcome back to this Hormozi workshop. Just some notes from yesterday. Basically, there's just to deconstrain the business or to solve a constraint is often a multi-step process. And then he started kind of pitching his school group, his private group, where you can have access to him and some of the people on his team. Hold on. There we go. I don't know what that looked like, but my phone was turning off. Oh shoot. Okay, we're good. Enough swiping. Let me think now. Some private team, and then guidance on how helping you deconstrain the business, really, and having a community of like-minded entrepreneurs, and then like 6 other workshops like this, which I found extremely valuable, but we missed it. I'm watching this weeks after, and it was only available for 24 hours. So fortunately or unfortunately, we were not able to do it. But we've got plenty of materials from Hormozi to continue to learn from, including this workshop, 4 books, 3 online courses, and 12 playbooks. So that's like 1,000 hours, multiple thousands of hours. No. That's a couple hundred hours of materials to read through, so we'll do fine without it, I think. Is there anything else I'm missing? I feel like there wasn't that much to take notes on yesterday, because a lot of it was the pitch, essentially. Oh, why are these all? Oh, that's why. Because I was building a spreadsheet dashboard to start collecting the information, the metrics he was talking about. Here we go. Mozy 6, manpower. This is closer. This is closer. Here it is. So we're about to jump into the tools and implementation. And he was saying if you don't know if you're demand or supply constrained, you're most often demand constrained. Sometimes, it's kind of like, are you able to, for a short term, increase your total output of the business by like 30%? Because you took on 30% more people. If yeah, then you're probably demand constrained. You need to increase demand, take on that extra work to generate a little extra cash flow that you then funnel into hiring more people. So yeah, we're going to jump back into the workshop, and I'll be back to recall in a bit. All right, so this is taking a little bit of a change of course, but not quite. I think the main idea with the constraint was whether you're supply constrained or demand constrained, and then working through the Mozy 6, the framework, in order to deconstrain the demand or the supply constraint. That's what I'm thinking there. Anyway. He's now getting more into, so this is the tools and implementation section, and the first thing was like playbooks by business type. Before we even jumped into anything like that, he kind of just said like, all that's left is to make hard decisions, because if it was easy, you would have already made the decision. You would have already done it. So I can see that. And what does he mean by this? He's like, these are the hard decisions, the common places people get stuck because they're hard decisions. It's either hard now or hard now and later, because the hard now is making the decision. Hard now later is not making the decision, suffering the being stuck and the problems that come from not making the decision, and then you still have to make it later. And so he has a little acronym for this called ad focus, and what we got through was the first 3. So A is the avatar. So this is, he says, for the people around like $1 to $3 million per year in a business, typically you haven't like clearly defined who you're going to serve and who you want to serve. You typically still have people that are good clients, high paying clients, bad clients, low paying clients, and you haven't like cut off the low yet and reshaped the pricing to only be for high clients, high priority. And it's like, well, what are you going to do? You think you need the lower clients to, because there's more of them, and then they make up for this, the higher clients, and back and forth, and you're kind of stuck. And you said the strategic move is to cut out the low paying clients, the low quality, the low value clients, and just keep the high quality clients and charge more because their chances of success are higher, instead of having everyone's, he said you take all your clients and you price a little bit below average. So if you have the high paying, high quality, low paying, low success, low quality, you're charging like around closer to lower. If you just cut out the bottom, then you can move your pricing all the way to the top, what it's worth to the people that succeed, that it works for, that get good results. So there's that. That's not exactly for our business right now, but it could be pretty soon. It already is, like, we're getting more opportunities to work with different niches, and we have other opportunities, and it's like, okay, well, what do we do here? Two, secondly, that is D, ad focus. What is D? Man, now I'm not remembering what D means. F is focus, and this is one he said he's had a lot of problems with. This is something I deal with, and I've found this balance of doing a lot of different things. But he's saying, if you were able to, if you cut out the thing, everything and you can just put all your bandwidth and focus and thoughts towards one thing, that's how you're going to really succeed in entrepreneurship. All right, D's coming back now, but we'll keep with focus. We didn't get all the way through it, but he basically was talking about, like, if you're juggling two different businesses, the hard decision is to cut off one and put all your focus in the other. I think generally that's probably good advice. D, what is D about? There was something about, it's something along the lines of, entrepreneurs initially get rewarded for jumping ship, that is quitting their job and starting entrepreneurship. And so he thinks that's the start of, like, what he says most entrepreneurs are addicted to, and that is jumping ship. And he's really like this journey of entrepreneurship and ideas and businesses. And it starts out with uninformed optimism, and then that peaks and comes down to informed pessimism, and then you keep going down well below where you began, and you're into this valley of despair. And this is where most people just quit and jump ship and start a new thing. And so they start a new thing with uninformed optimism, up informed pessimism, down valley of despair, quit. But if you stick through the valley of despair, you start to come back up a little bit, and then at some point it becomes informed optimism. Now you're set up, and then eventually it keeps going, and you're now that's where achievement lies. So what is what is the word for that? Why can't I remember that? Data. No, this was focus. This was all part of the focus. The jumping ship, the achievement, pessimism, optimism. Data was like, you gotta, first of all, if you can't get the data, you gotta make data decision without informed data. Focusing on directionality, right? Heading in the right direction and making reversible decisions quickly, rather than being absolute and thinking in absolutes. And then, if you can get the data, that probably should be your priority, even if that means not growing temporarily, so that you can sustain growth for a long time afterward. So focus, along the lines of focus, one more thing is he's basically saying, like, he's got all this energy bandwidth, and what he did in the beginning of his career was just go around and just break everything and tell people to, hey, we're going to redo this. I got a new idea for this. Break this, break this, break this. And eventually he just started to, like, do a lot of things, but that were all, like, not breaking the business and all contributing toward the business, writing books, making YouTube content, podcast, newsletter, etc. Because he had this, like, creative energy and has this creative energy, but he doesn't want to just keep going around breaking the business when it's working well. So that's it for today. I will talk to you tomorrow. Dang it, I think I forgot to screenshot where I was at. Oh, let's go. I didn't X out yet. Okay. We're at 2 hours and 53 minutes. So about 2/3 through now, which is great. That's awesome. Just keep compounding the growth. It's great. That's it for today. Talk to you tomorrow. See ya.